as the ace in the circle for Oklahoma State this season. 3-game series is officially underway with a ball, and the two teams stood on the lines. It was a standoff again, and as Kaylee Wyckoff, the sophomore out of Katy, Texas, leads things off. The Cowgirls won the standoff. The umpires made Texas Tech finally go into their dugout.
That was one of the longest ones I have seen. And there have been some good ones against a few other teams in the Big 12, but neither team was willing to back down there until the umpires had to come in and break it up. And
to explain that again, the two teams line up, they have the teams introduced, they have the starting lineups introduced, and they stay on their lines, baselines, until the very last minute. Oklahoma State has made this a game, if you will. We're not stepping off of our line until the other team does. And it's funny because it was something they were doing quietly, but now every team knows that that's happening, and they push the envelope as far as they can. Does Oklahoma State do that when they're on the road?
Yes, they do it every single game, and these girls are so competitive, they're not willing to back down. Even the umpires were coming up and telling them to move, and they were staying strong.
Funny stuff, and Wyckoff works the count to 3-1. Just a little bit of the game inside the game as that one's fouled off for a 3-2 count. Again, big series for both of these two teams. The Cowgirls still in third in the Big 12. Lost 2 out of 3 in Ames, Iowa. Traditionally a place that's very difficult to go play. And for Texas Tech, they beat a Kansas team that is 4th in the league, has been fantastic all year long. And they took 2 out of 3 in a crazy game, a 15-12 game in Game 2, in which both teams had 18 hits, 36 hits in Game 2 of the Texas Tech-Kansas series. And that's put a premium on this one as we are down to the final 3 series left in the Big 12. That one is hit. Slow roller in the air, rolls right over the top to Lexi Kilfoyle. Easily gets underneath that one. Let's take a look at the defense for the Cowgirls. Here they line it up across the bags. Edwards back. Good to have her back in the lineup at third. Bloodworth, Davis, and Godwin. Caroline Wong behind the dish. Tim, Poulard, and McDonald. Poulard moved from third after filling in for Edwards. Earned some playing time. She's going to center field. And again, Lexi Kilfoyle in the circle for Oklahoma State. One gone here in the top of the first. And a kind of a cool day. It's been really warm around here, but the last couple cold front came through yesterday. Much cooler today, and the wind blowing in inside Cowgirl Stadium as Ariana Villa, the left fielder, is behind here quickly 0-2.
Yeah, yesterday was one of the weirdest things I had ever experienced, because in the morning it was like 75 and sunny, and then 2 hours later it was probably like 50 degrees and super windy. I was like, what is going on? I'm sure Oklahoma people are like, oh, that's normal, but I was like, what?
It definitely had a major change. Sticky warm in the morning and really cold and windy in the afternoon. And there's a good shot at Oak Glory coming inward. More of that particular shot right to left, but that flag's been blowing in as well. And Villa here at 1-2. That one high out of the zone for a 2-2 count. Texas Tech starting to think about becoming an at-large team, and we'll discuss that throughout the weekend, I'm sure. But this is a team that feels like they're on the cusp. There's a strikeout, the first strikeout of the ball game for Lexi Kilfoyle.
I love this pitch by Lexi Kilfoyle. She uses her off speed and just totally catches Ariana Villa off balance there.
So 2 gone here in the top of the first. Lexi continues to do what she does, and that is get outs. 1 ERA on the season. That'll bring up Riley Love. That one misses off the plate. Love out of Keller, Texas, a senior. Batting .340, 12 home runs on the season. This team has 50 home runs on the year. Set a single season record a year ago with 74 for Texas Tech. First-year head coach Craig Snyder, and he obviously came in very offensive-minded, and their offense was really good last year, and it's really good this year too. Texas Tech averaging 6.5 runs per ball game. As the count goes to 3-0 to Riley Love, the third baseman.
And Riley Love contributed to that home run total last weekend. She went 4 for 8 last weekend with 2 home runs. So definitely a hot hitter in this Texas Tech lineup.
They know how to get the ball out of the yard. The 3-0 is right down central for a strike and a 3-1 count. Decent crowd here on a Friday night, cool Friday night, and expect the crowds to grow throughout the course of the weekend. 3-1 is hit to Talon Edwards, makes the charge, makes the throw, and they're gone here in the top of the first. But Jillian Pillard, who again has been in for Talon Edwards, and she will lead things off, batting for that left-hand side. And then Talon Edwards will follow her. Caroline Wong, who's been outstanding for the Cowgirls this season. Godwin Davis, Tim. The designated player is Michaela Wark. Lexi McDonald out there in right field. And Megan Bloodworth, the shortstop, will round out the lineup for the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. And in the circle, Mimi Blackledge, 9-6. That's not, I think gave her a little bit too much credit there. This is a young lady that's not had a lot of starts for them this season.
Yeah, Mimi Blackledge is a freshman. She's only had 2 games started this year. She threw a little over 4 weekends last weekend against Kansas, and she likes to work away to both righties and lefties, a little bit lower velocity in the low 60s. But I think this is a bit of an unexpected starter for Texas Tech and maybe part of their strategy to try to throw the Cowgirls off.
Well, when you look at, again, their MO, this Texas Tech team puts up 6.59 runs per ball game, and they're having a really good year. But their ERA is 4.82, and you know the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. We all heard that adage. So give Coach Snyder credit, right? They're just trying something a little out of the box. Because I don't think a lot of people would have anticipated her to get the start here tonight.
I agree, and that's just all part of the strategy too as a coach. You know, the Cowgirls, I'm sure, have been preparing for some of the other pitchers that Texas Tech has, like Maddie Wright and Maddie Keel, you know, the pitchers with more innings. So if they're expecting to see one of those 2 starters and then all of a sudden Blackledge kind of gets thrown in there, you know, they don't really have as much of a solid game plan, I would say.
Yeah, it's hard to prepare. You know, it's just not somebody you would have prepared for as much. Obviously, I know Oklahoma State will prepare for everyone on the roster just like Texas Tech will, but you have an anticipation of what you really expect to see. And Cowgirls with Pillard will start with a full count, 3-2 to lead things off here in the bottom of the first. In a 3-game set, Kansas fell to Texas Tech a couple of games last weekend, and the Cowgirls trying to get things going, and that'll help because as that's going to be a double for Pillard. Great start for her, and she gets that quick double, and the Cowgirls off to a quick start offensively.
Yeah, great at bat by Jillian Pillard, and she waits back on this pitch just enough and is able to drive it into right center and start off with a double.
Her second double of the year. I thought I was hearing that correctly, and my research tells me that is correct. So the Cowgirls have a runner in scoring position off the first at bat and a chance to try to get some offense early in this one. And there's a called strike to the third baseman. Talon Edwards out of Moore, Oklahoma, just a sophomore, has been hurt for several games. Finally came back midweek against Wichita State, and good to have her back in the lineup. I'm sure the Cowgirls feel for sure as she shows bunt, pulls back, and that'll miss for a ball, and it'll be 1-1. It's interesting, you're a hitter, and something not quite as obvious with That's another big hit, and over the top, a great catch over the top there in center field by Elder, over the shoulder catch, and that means that Pollard will have to stay there. But let's take a look at this one. Just a good swing, just not quite enough of it.
Yeah, and Elder is playing actually pretty shallow, but she sees this ball off the bat, reads it very well, drop steps perfectly, and sprints back and makes that catch. That's a really tough play for an outfielder, so good job by Demi Elder there.
You know, and I think, again, they're trusting that that wind is going to hold it up a little bit, and it certainly did. Now then Caroline Wong steps up, the catcher, and now they drift back a little bit further out there in center field as Elder, and they'll back up a little bit more. But I think you're right, but the way they were positioned pre-pitch, they were anticipating that wind holding things in, as that one is hit to third, and that'll move the runner over. But so Caroline Wong will ground out to third, but on the throw over to first, Pollard will advance to third, and 2 gone here in the first. So an interesting start here with Mimi Blackledge. Gave up the double, gave up a solid swing to Edwards, but it was a line out to Elder in center field. Then they ground out to Wong, and Carly Godwin, the first baseman, will take ball 1 out of Lake Waccamaw. And batting .331, a freshman, and stepped in there and looked anything but like a freshman all season long. Takes ball 2. I don't know how many freshmen across the country are batting 4th in the lineup. There's a few, but Godwin has earned that spot for sure. Gets that one into shallow right, and coming on is Wyckoff, and
I think she dropped it over there in the corner.
Yeah, we were shielded. That was behind the dugout, so we couldn't see it initially, and the ball did hit the ground, and so Carly Godwin will get another chance here. 2-1. What an effort, though, by Wyckoff and by Jennings. Jennings coming from second, trying to chase that thing down, and Wyckoff as well, and both gave great chase to get there.
Yeah, everyone on the field kind of lit up and was cheering like she had caught it, so I'm guessing it was in her glove and then maybe popped out when she hit the ground on the dive.
So the count will go to 2-1 here to Godwin. Hits that one right back to Blackledge. She underhands it over to first, and the Cowgirls get the double, but they can't get the run. Stephen F. Austin was a GA at Oklahoma, spent time in the ACC, the SEC. Third coach in Texas Tech history to win 30-plus games, 5+ ranked wins in his first season. Had ranked second recruiting class in the nation this last season, and I just liked his energy and his focus, and seemed to me to be a coach that certainly has a plan.
Exactly. Coach Snyder is definitely elevating the Texas Tech program, especially looking at their big wins last weekend over Kansas. And, you know, with the second-ranked recruiting class, that's just a credit to how good they are at bringing in freshmen and also developing the players they have. They've had so many players on this roster with huge improvements from the previous year, so he's just doing an awesome job.
Well, it doesn't, I would imagine as a player, it's not hard to get buy-in when you break the single season record in home runs in first year. Again, hit 74 a year ago. So this kids are going to buy in pretty quickly when they see that kind of success. Great job so far and early in his tenure. Got to be honest, before I knew much about Coach Snyder, I really thought he looked pretty young, and he does look young. But I didn't think he would have as long of a resume as he did, simply because he didn't look like he was old enough to have that resume. But he started back with Stephen F. Austin back in 2007. From there, from 7 to 10, Florida State from 11 to 19, A&M from 20 to 22, and all of that after a short stint as a GA at Oklahoma. First-year head coach last season in his second year, and has done a great job and got them within a game or two, he said, a feeling like they're an at-large team. He said, we're a game or two, meaning a win or two away from feeling comfortable that we are an at-large team right now. And tell you what, with number 31 RPI team in the country, I think he's exactly right.
Yeah, I would have to agree, and especially, you know, coming into this weekend against Oklahoma State, really good opportunity for them to steal a game against a high RPI team like Oklahoma State and just further give themselves a record to show to the selection committee. Sorry.
Yeah, you show them a resume, right? I think you're exactly right. That's why this is such a big series. What they did last weekend sets them up for this weekend if they could pull it off again to truly put themselves in that situation. As Oric grounded out to the third, and that'll bring up Reagan Jennings, batting .364, a freshman, the second baseman. Again, gave great chase on a ball a minute ago defensively, showing her athleticism and her speed. And she's ahead in the count here, 1-0. Wong couldn't hang on to that one, but it is a called strike, and the count will go to 1-1. Here's the 1-1 from Lexi Kilfoyle. Misses off the plate. Reagan Jennings participated. Interesting, you know, you look at some of the bios and things the kids have done, and never seen this one before, but she participated in the American Sign Language and Speech and Debate Club back in high school. So it was hard enough to debate when you're debating and you're in front of a crowd and how difficult that could be, but now signing as well, and that one is grounded to Bloodworth and out number 2. It's interesting, Jennings also career goal to become an audiologist. Trying to make some noise there for her team, but grounds out to Bloodworth, the shortstop. So 2 gone here in the top of 2. 5 up, 5 down, 3 ground outs already for Lexi Kilfoyle. Demi Elder made that great over-the-shoulder catch in the last half inning. Batting .326 with 4 home runs on the season. Behind in the count here, 0-1. And the count evens at 1-1. Big 12. Very top-heavy, but talent permeates all the way through this league, top to bottom. Off speed in there for a called strike.
Yeah, that's what's making the Big 12 so fun to watch this year is you just never know on any given day who's going to get beat. Any team in this conference can beat any team in this conference, and that's why I think it's been so interesting. And, you know, the winner of the Big 12 conference is definitely going to come down to it at the end, I think.
Yeah, you know, I mean, even Oklahoma, right? Oklahoma's been so incredibly dominant in this league, but they lost 2 of 3 to Texas. Texas lost 2 of 3 to Oklahoma State. Cowgirls lose the series to Iowa State. Texas Tech, Kansas is by far one of the most improved teams in the conference. As that one is hit to Rosie Davis, makes a play, and Elder is thrown out at first. So, out of bounds here in the top of the second. Recently made the NCAA tournament all 8 seasons as a head coach. Headed there again this year. Would love to get back to the College World Series for the 5th time. They've been there 4 consecutive, brought Oklahoma State its first Big 12 title in 2022. And he just keeps things rolling. Despite the new players, new coaches, new GAs, everything is still rolling right now for Kenny Gajewski.
Exactly, and I think one of the biggest things about Coach G and his staff is the new additions to the staff this year with 2 new coaches in Coach Carrie Eberly and Coach Shippey. Just to have both of them come in the same year and just still keep this team rolling as good as they have been is so impressive to me.
Absolutely. Again, it just speaks to the ability of Kenny Gajewski to surround himself with good coaches, and those coaches continue to evaluate and develop players. And it really hasn't mattered who's been on the staff and what kids fill what position. It's just a machine right now, and it continues to go the right way. However, in Ames, Iowa, is Rosie Davis, the second baseman. Falls behind 1-2. After the first game, okay, there's a little shock. After the second game, consecutive loss in the league to Iowa State, even though Coach warned that's a tough place to go play, he felt like the staff needed a shakeup from a, hey, we got to get rid of this. We're kind of down on ourselves. We're down on what's going on here as Davis punches that one into center field, but Elder under it for the out. So he took the staff and he said, all right, we're just going on a little staff retreat within our trip to Ames, Iowa, and we're going to have a little fun, and we're going to talk, and we're going to walk. We're going to get rid of this mojo. And he told the staff they were going to do what the next day?
He actually told the staff that the offense was going to put up 10 runs the next day, and that's exactly what they did. So I don't know how he predicted that, but yeah, I mean, sometimes that's just what you have to do. Just kind of enjoy a dinner with everyone and know that there's going to be tough times throughout the season, but that's just part of the journey, and you have to enjoy those times as well and push through them.
In fact, you do, as Tim squares up on one, but Wyckoff is able to get it. And there's out number 2. Pretty well hit, but Wyckoff able to get there. And I think that's the other thing that Kenny Gajewski can do with his players, too. Wiffle ball. Wiffle ball became a part of the Iowa State trip as well. So not only getting his staff to loosen up, and, hey, we got to get rid of this. We cannot wear these last 2 games. Did the same thing with the and a wiffle ball game turned out to be a time of laughter and loosened everybody back up.
Exactly. That was one of the funnest moments I've seen the team have all together this season, and just getting out in the outfield. And it kind of takes you back to when you're a kid playing with all your friends in the neighborhood, playing wiffle ball and just having a good time, no worries, and just playing free. And that energy really transferred into the game.
So the staff shook it off, the team shook it off, and he predicted a 10-run Sunday. And the Cowgirls scored 10 runs on that Sunday. As Rachel said, how he predicted it, who knows, but he was able to pull it off. And the Cowgirls took that and then took the team on the road to beat Wichita State. So back on a 2-game winning streak. And it's interesting, they're 2-2 on the week, but that still had a feel of not what this team is all about, according to Kenny Gajewski, as Michaela Wart just misses foul, the designated player. 2-2 the count, hits that one down the line, but just outside the line. So she will step back in here and get another chance. Cowgirls have 1 hit on the day. Texas Tech has not managed to hit as of yet. And that was quite the swing right there as Michaela Wart turns on that one, and that ball was blasted foul. Not sure you want to throw another inside pitch right there with that kind of location, because
nope.
You just saw what Michaela Wart can do to it. I would highly anticipate this one coming to the outside. And it was, and she still pulled it. Not hit quite as sharply, but it is still foul, and they'll retrieve it, and we'll stay at 2-2.
Yeah, Michaela Wart is one of those hitters that is so good on the left side of the field. She's very frequently a pull side hitter, and when you face a pitcher like Blackledge, a little bit lower in velocity, she's really just going to have to try and wait back on these pitches, because if she could wait back an extra millisecond, she's driving those balls into left field or maybe even over the left field wall, but she's a little too early right now and just hooking everything foul.
Michaela Wart, a redshirt sophomore out of Frisco, Texas. Transferred from Kansas. Her sister plays at North Texas. Involved with the Oklahoma State Student Athletic Advisory Committee, pursuing a degree in exercise science, and the count run full. Now 3-2 to Wart. And there's ball 4. So the second base runner for the Cowgirls, they've had a base runner in both innings now. The first one came off that double lead-off hitter to start the ballgame. Jillian Pillard ended up with a double. And Michaela Wart, now the designated player, a walk. And that'll bring up Lexi McDonald, the right fielder out of Silo, Oklahoma, batting .289, 3 home runs, 9 RBI on the season. First pitch called strike.
And big credit to Blackledge in that first inning after giving up the double to Poulard, able to get through Talon Edwards, Caroline Wong, and Carly Godwin, all super talented hitters, and she just shut them down, and that was a really good opportunity for Oklahoma State to jump on them and get some runs.
Only her third start of the season as McDonald hits that one into left, and it's bobbled by Villa, and that's going to end up being a double, and the Cowgirls had a chance right there maybe even to go score. So a walk followed by a double, and the Cowgirls have runners at second and third.
Lexi McDonald just squares up this ball on the outer half, low in the zone. She's able to go down and get it and just shoot it into the left center gap. The left fielder out there, Villa, made a good stop. I thought that ball was going to the wall, but she's able to get it in and prevent a run from scoring. So good job of the left fielder.
So the Cowgirls keep the inning alive with a couple of outs on base runners, and we move to the bottom of the order with Megan Bloodworth, the shortstop. We'll try to make something happen with runners in scoring position out of Cordell, Georgia, batting 188. Got 3 home runs on the season. And she takes ball 2. You know, it's a fantastic point. You've only had 3 starts to your credit in Blackledge. You give up a double, and then the 2, 3, 4 hole hitters are coming up, and she just settled right back in there and was able to get out of that inning without much of a problem. So that shows a little grit by the youngster. Blackledge, a freshman out of Center Point, Texas, played at Center Point High School. Draws a visit from the coaching staff there in the circle, and everybody's good, and here we go. Center field Elder in again. She has played shallow most of the day so far. She is very shallow right there. There's a strike. Cowgirls trying to get a run here, but that's hit to the third baseman. Love throws it across the diamond, and Texas Tech out of any trouble.
Just a big focus on approach and thought process, hunting pitches. So there's so many different ways that they coach their kids, and it's really paying off this season.
You know, and Maddie Wright, the senior, batting .313, is the designated player. We could see her in the circle for sure in this series, if not tonight. But, you know, we asked the coach about that, you know, with that hitting philosophy and just how they, went from a good offensive team to setting a single record for home runs last year. And he said that it's about our approach, but it's also about our work in the cages. So it's a compilation of 2 things. But, again, you have to have buy-in. It's no different than what Vanessa Shippey has found for Oklahoma State, right? You have to have buy-in, and both coaching staffs have certainly found that this year.
100%. I think one of the cool things he said is in the fall they really work on learning how to make adjustments quickly, because when you're in a game you need to make adjustments pitch to pitch, and if you don't practice that in the fall you're going to struggle a lot in the season, and their work in the fall has really led them to this point.
Team, no, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, there's so much. The season didn't start in February. The season started way back in November and December, and getting into cages and getting those opportunities. And it is a year-round sport like every other sport anymore, essentially. 2-2. Misses 3-2. Lexi Kilfoyle is pretty efficient so far. Is 32 pitches on the 37 pitches, excuse me, on the night. That one is fouled off by Wright to stay alive. One strikeout so far for Lexi Kilfoyle, and has sat down the Texas Tech Red Raider lineup in order so far, as that one is hit foul down the first base side. Right, showing that she will take the ball, and whichever pitch you want to give her, she can take the ball either direction. Analytics. I know you're involved with that with Oklahoma State and have seen that at the collegiate level. What are the primary analytics that a team like Oklahoma State is interested in?
There are so many different ways that data and analytics and statistics all come into play, especially when scouting other teams. Like I know the pitching coach, Coach Eberly, she really looks at each of these Texas Tech batters and finds out what pitches they're hitting well and, you know, what locations on the field they usually hit the ball. So then each player, they know where to shift defensively and how to pitch to these girls. So that makes it really tough on them. And then as a hitter, we're also looking at what their pitchers throw well and, you know, their tendencies and all that kind of stuff. There's so much data to be looked at. It's amazing.
Yeah, you know, and at the end of the day, there's a whole lot of analytics, and then there might be a gut feeling in there as well. As Maddie Wright, terrific at bat, draws the walk and gives Texas Tech their first base runner of the ball game. Kennedy Kreitz, the catcher. Behind 0-1 out of Hazlet, Texas, the senior, batting .324. But, you know, we saw that look of Kenny Gajewski in the dugout. When it all boils down to it, at some point, he's going to look at his staff and go, what do you think? What do you think? What is the stat? What does the analytics say? And he's either going to go with that or he's going to go with his own gut instinct, right? I mean, there are going to be times when your gut instinct is going to trump all of that. And that, again, is one of the places where Kenny, as a head coach, has been very, very good.
I would agree, especially with, there's been so many times we've seen pinch hitters come off the bench and just get something going, and all of that just is a gut instinct, I would say, by Coach G.
There's a foul ball. They count 1-2 to Kreitz, again, the catcher. The clouds actually breaking up a little bit here in Stillwater, and starting to see a little bit of that sun poking through on the left field side. And that is about as half-hearted swing as you're going to see, as Kreitz just hoping to make contact with it. Does. Stays alive with a foul. Here's the 1-2. So Maddie Wright was able to work the count full, drew the walk, and now Kennedy Kreitz, the 8-hole hitter, has worked it to a 2-2 count, and she's having a really good at-bat, and she's got it full. Infield coming in to encourage Lexi Kilfoyle.
It looks like the Texas Tech offense so far has been very disciplined. They're making Lexi Kilfoyle work every at-bat. They've gotten into some, actually a lot of counts that have gone to 3-2, 3-1. So they're definitely making Lexi Kilfoyle work, swinging at strikes, and haven't gotten a hit yet, but they're putting up some good at-bats.
Yeah, you know, and again, you go, well, if they're going to sit on pitches, we'll throw strikes. Well, they've been able to foul off those strikes. Haven't done anything with them yet, but they're making contact, and the more pitches you see, the better you're going to be. Here's another 3-2. Finally, there it is, and the first base hit of the ball game. So a walk followed by a single, nobody out, and 2 runners on for Texas Tech.
Great at bat by Kreitz. She worked the count, didn't give Lexi Kilfoyle anything, not swinging at balls, and just takes this pitch right back up the middle.
Got to bring a visit from Carrie Eberly into the circle and just calm everybody down, make sure that they're, you know, again, the conversation here, I would imagine, is what are you seeing and what are they laying off of, and maybe some of that pitch count stuff that you want to talk about and location a little bit. So, and that conversation is, hey, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a great job. Continue to be disciplined. The best part about both of those huddles is the number of hands covering up everybody's face.
I know. It's like, is anybody really even trying to read your lips or anything?
Don't let that happen. There's a couple of Cowgirl basketball players in the foreground. And, in fact, J.C. Hoyt. Looked like Coach J.C. Hoyt in that crowd as well. And a little bit of work was what we were really trying to show you right there, is the fact that the Cowgirls do have Ivy Rosenberry working in the bullpen. So a walk, a single, and now a ball to Aubrey Barnhart, batting .286. And an off speed and froze her, and she knew it immediately. Cold strike. Cowgirls 36 wins, Texas Tech 26. Cowgirls with 13 wins in the conference, Texas Tech with 6. The Cowgirls on the season incredibly impressive, 13-1 at home. And back-to-back off-speed pitches has Barnhart behind 1-2.
I'm not surprised Kilfoyle coming back with 2 changeups. She knows that she can get that pitch for a strike, and it looks like the Texas Tech offense isn't sitting that pitch yet. So if she can get ahead on these batters and get some strikes with her off-speed, it's a good idea to use that. That
one tried to get by Talon Edwards at third, but it just rolled outside the third base bag for a foul ball, and the count will stay 1-2. It's a big at-bat right here again for both teams. Cowgirls trying to get that first out and slow this little rally down, but Texas Tech right now is they're putting themselves in a good position to put the first points on the board. Cowgirls have been the team that have scored more times than not the first run of every ball game. Texas Tech threatening here in the top of the third. 3-2 count again. Third consecutive batter that has the count run full. Kilfoyle. And another one. They're not chasing pitches out of the zone, and they're fouling at minimum balls off that are in the strike zone. As you said, they're making Lexi Kilfoyle work really hard right now.
Exactly. She's already up to 56 pitches and only the top of the third. No outs in this inning yet. So they're putting up some good at-bats, taking her deep in the count, and going to probably start squaring up some balls.
That one hit right back. There's a turn, and not a double play, as that was off the mark. Carly Godwin couldn't get it there. So they get the lead runner at third, and it'll be a fielder's choice for Barnhart, and the runner Kreitz will advance to second as we take another look.
Yeah, hard hit ground ball at Lexi Kilfoyle, and you can see just how good of a fielder she is, and just quickly turns and makes a snap throw to Talon Edwards at third. But Talon Edwards trying to get the double play there and just overthrows Carly Godwin.
Again, only her second game back from injury, and so imagine a little bit of rust there, but a great job to get the lead batter, or the lead runner rather. And on the fielder's choice, the runner at second is able to move to third. Wright was out at third. Kennedy Kreitz advances to third, and Aubrey Barnhart reached on a fielder's choice at first, and we go back to the top of the order. There's Barnhart standing at first, and a little bit of a conversation with the Cowgirls defensively. One gone, runners on the corners, and Kaylee Wyckoff. Right fielder, 0 for 1 today. And takes ball 1. Popped out to the pitcher, in fact, to Lexi her first time up. Just a little soft, easy pop-up right in front of Lexi Kilfoyle. And this time she will hit it into left field, and that is going to be an RBI single. And Wyckoff gives Texas Tech their first run and a lead in the ball game.
Yeah, Wyckoff here doing what she does best. She hits a lot of balls opposite way, and she just drives this ball into left field and gets the RBI and keeps their offense going.
So one gone, runners at first and second now for the left fielder stepping in. Lexi Kilfoyle will dig back in, and the pitch that is fouled off. Ariana Villa, the left fielder, struck out her first time up, has 7 home runs on the season, 17 RBI, batting .354. "60 pitches already for Lexi Kilfoyle. At 61 after that one, and she is definitely having to work. Things went smoothly through the first couple of innings, but not so much here in the third. Ball 2.
And now with Ariana Villa and Riley Love coming up, a couple of their hottest hitters in the lineup, it's Lexi Kilfoyle is definitely looking to shut them down and still get out of this inning with only 1 run.
There's a strike. We have talked and having an opportunity to call several Lexi Kilfoyle pitched ball games for Oklahoma State. Doesn't show a lot of emotion. Not sure you would know right now if she's way up or way down, but she's going to be way down here as that one will land, and that's going to score 1. That's going to score 2. And they play at third and an out. The Cowgirls get the out at third, but 2 runs do score, and the Cowgirls are trailing here 3-0 to Texas Tech on the 2 RBI double.
Wow, a lot definitely going on in that play, but Villa here with a great swing. Lexi Kilfoyle throws her off speed. I think she hangs it a little bit high, and Villa waited back on it perfectly, able to drive it into right center and bring in a couple of runs.
She tried to stretch it into a triple. It ended up being thrown out, and good job by Caroline Wong. The throw at home to get the runner, second runner coming in, was not in time, and Wong was able to make a throw to Edwards easily to get that out. So 3-0. Texas Tech 3 hits all in this inning, leading to all 3 of those runs. And that one is going to be hit to Bloodworth. Throw over in time. Riley Love is out, but a lot of runs, 8th in the country in home runs per game. And Caroline Wong, she is 5 home runs away from setting a record in the Cowgirl locker room and shaving the beard of one Kenny Gajewski. That is the wager on the line right now for that young lady.
I just know that that's going to happen, and I can't wait.
Want to see that happen. Is good, productive at-bat for Jillian Pillard. She had the double to start this ball game off, and she takes a hit by pitch there. The Cowgirls have a base runner at first. How important is it right here for Oklahoma State to answer these runs early, right back in the bottom half of this inning?
It's extremely important, especially, you know, just to give them that confidence boost when you can get your offense going immediately after the other team puts up runs. It just keeps you guys going. And sometimes if Texas Tech were to come out and have a solid 1-2-3 inning here, then sometimes it just puts your offense in a lull and you get a little bit down. And so if they're able to respond right here, chip away at the 3 runs and at least get 1 or 2, they'll be in a good spot going forward.
There's an off speed for a strike to Talon Edwards. The count even at 1-1. Yeah, you know, and on the other side of that, thinking about Mimi Blackledge is, hey, she's got some runs on the board now. She's gotten through 2 innings. She's done a good job, and that run support's got to make her feel a little more confident in the circle. As Edwards lays down the bunt, Blackledge makes the throw in time, and Pillard comes off the bag, but able to reach back in there in time to be safe at second. So we'll call that a sack bunt. 1 gone, runner at second in scoring position, and that'll bring up the catcher Caroline Wong as Blackledge will look in and Wong will step into the batter's box. 16 home runs on the season. We saw that a moment ago. 20 is the record for Oklahoma State, looking to break that record at 21.
Yeah, a big reason that Oklahoma State has so many home runs this year is because of these next three in the batting order: Caroline Wong, Carly Godwin, and Rosie Davis, all newcomers to the team and have just come in and packed a punch with their bats and added so much power to the Oklahoma State lineup.
2-0 is Wong here, and to back that up with some numbers: 16 by Wong, 9 home runs by Carly Godwin, and 7 by Rosie Davis. Michaela Wark also there with 8 as that one is hit into left field. That's going to bounce, and that's going to score a run. An RBI single for Caroline Wong, as for the second time Villa kind of was a little indecisive out there in left field.
Yeah, good job by Caroline Wong to go down and get that pitch. It looked like the left fielder Villa was going to die for that for a second, but she stopped it, and Jillian Poulard able to get a good read on that and score.
Yeah, she bobbled it, blocked it, then you weren't for sure which way she was going to go, either bringing it home or trying to hold the batter and runner at that point, Caroline Wong, to a single, and it got bobbled, and now Carly Godwin will take a hit by pitch. That's the second in the inning. The first one came in to score. And the Cowgirls have runners at first and second with 1 gone for the aforementioned Rosie Davis. And there's some work being done in the Texas Tech bullpen.
Yeah, the Cowgirls have been putting pressure on the Texas Tech defense this whole game. They've hit a lot of balls hard, had some runners on base. Now in the bottom of the third, it seems like some of those balls are getting down, and they're making some things happen.
Cowgirls got the double in the first inning, as you see Rosie Davis flew out her first time, 0 for 1. They had the walk, the double, and as you said, even the groundouts, a few of those have been hit pretty sharply for Oklahoma State. That one's hit pretty squarely, and that's going to be in left field. Villa this time will camp out underneath it. Wynn definitely assisted that one, holding it down as Rosie Davis flies out for the second time in the ballgame. So 2 gone, runners at first and second. Cowgirls would love to be able to get one more at least across for Claire Tim and her bat at 0 for 1, batting .323, and try to cut into that deficit even more. And for Texas Tech, they want to hold it right where it's at, as that one is hit, and it's going to drop, and it is tipped in foul territory. Villa gets the tip of her glove on it, but can't squeeze it and bring it in for the out. Yeah, that tells you right there just the wind, too. I mean, that looked to me like that was going to be an easy out, and then she's sprinting as hard as she can, and that wind just held it up and stopped on her and fell in front and unable to squeeze it and bring it in. It is a strike, though, and Tim lined out to right field last time. This time she will line out over the wall. We've got a new leader in the clubhouse. Cowgirls lead it 4-3. Sound the horn. Claire Tim going to touch them all. Claire Tim just the yard and turned this ball game around with 1 swing.
Yeah, Claire Tim, this pitch is a little too high and on the inner half of the plate, and Claire Tim drives it perfectly over the right field fence. And it makes you wonder, because Villa was so close to making that catch in left field the pitch before, but you give Claire Tim an extra chance, and that's what she's going to do. She's going to make you pay for it.
Yeah, that's a terrific point, because that's how close Texas Tech was to getting out of this inning. And then the very next pitch left the yard. It was hit into the souvenir shop, and the gift shop, I should say, because there was a souvenir. And that may do it for Mimi Blackledge. Gave up the 3-run home run. The Cowgirls take a 4th season. What do we know about this young lady?
Keel is one of those pitchers who does have a lot of innings for the Texas Tech pitching staff. She's going to complement Blackledge very well, because she throws hard in the mid to upper 60s. She has a rise ball and an off speed that comes in the upper 50s. So I think it's going to be a good mix-up for them to bring in a hard-throwing rise ball pitcher after Oklahoma State was facing kind of a lower velocity pitcher in Blackledge.
So see how the Cowgirls handle that, as Wark, the designated player, drew a walk her last time up. Ahead in the count here, 2-0. Cowgirls had left 3 on the bags. Texas Tech 0. They'd scored them all with the exception of the little extension off of the double. Trying to stretch it into a triple by Villa. So they left the bags empty and have been able to score them all. The Cowgirls have emptied the bases here and put 4 on across the board here in the bottom of the 3rd. So it's 4-3. Cowgirls have out-hit Texas Tech 4-3 as well. Cowgirls do have 1 error. That was that throwing error from Talon Edwards trying to get the double play and the throw to first. That gets you caught up to speed where we are right here. Coach Snyder's team, again, playing well, nothing to spit at, that's for sure. 3-2. Another walk for Michaela Wart, her 2nd of the ball game. This will be the 8th batter up for the Cowgirls here in the inning. Lexi McDonald had a double her first time up. Batting 304 on the season. That one high and inside. Ball 1. Talk about Lexi McDonald as a hitter and what she brings to the table.
Lexi McDonald is a sophomore this season and one of those players that didn't get a ton of opportunities as a freshman, but she kept her head down and worked so hard last year. One of the hardest working players I've ever seen. She's constantly in the cages working on her swing, and it's paying off for her this year. She's gotten a lot more opportunities and is making the most out of them so far.
Yes, pretty much solidified that right field spot for the most part as she swings big at that one, 1 and 2. Shaking her head, not happy with herself there, missing on that pitch, but step back in at 1 and 2. But has played a lot in right field. Of course, Caroline Wong has some when she's not been catching. Claire Tim's been out there a little bit, and she did not go around. Now you pill it, and there's ball 2. As an All-American, certainly a terrific hitter that you were. When you watch a batter, are you analyzing the swing the entire time?
Honestly, not really. It's, especially from up here, it's kind of tough to see, you know, the whole swing. But I think that's one of those things that you kind of just, when things pop out, you tend to notice them.
See something's out of the norm. Be reunited. Honor for Lexi Kilfoyle.
Yes, just so exciting for Lexi Kilfoyle. She's gonna be playing in Japan this summer with Kelly Maxwell again. So just such a good, you know, opportunity for her and such a high honor to represent the United States.
No doubt it is, as we have made it to the top of the 4th. Abby Orick, the shortstop, grounded out. Last time up, she leads things off here in the 4th. We talked about the significance of getting those runs back, but not only did the Cowgirls do that, they took the lead. So now they went from down 3-0 to leading 4-3. What does that do for Lexi Kilfoyle in the circle, knowing that, okay, tonight I've got some run support?
Yeah, as a pitcher, it just has to give you so much confidence heading in to the top of the 4th, just knowing that your offense is going to have your back tonight. And you know, even though you may not have your best stuff on any given day, your team is going to be there to pick you up.
She has been phenomenal. A couple of games where the run support hasn't been there, and you mentioned that in the first game against Iowa State up in Ames in that series. But for the most part, she has had good run support, and she's got 4 from her team today. Let's see how that fares for her as Reagan Jennings, the second baseman, takes a strike. She's also 0 for 1 with a ground out. Still batting .360 though on the season. She's a youngster, but she's been really good so far for Coach Snyder and the Red Raiders. It's off the plate. 1-1.
Jennings is one of those players who, like you mentioned, she's a freshman and kind of just having a breakout season. She's one of those players that can bunt, you know, slap and hit. So a lot of tools that she has, and we've seen her in the dock position for this lineup a few times. So just a very talented player with a bright future.
Rosie Davis slides, collects, throws, the reach by Godwin at first. That's a terrific defensive play by Oklahoma State.
Yeah, an absolute web gem here by Rosie Davis, just running into the 3-4 hole, diving and quickly spinning and making the throw from her knees. That's an awesome play by Rosie Davis.
You know, I thoroughly loved that word web gem. Something I've kind of hung my career on. 2 gone. Here in the top of the 4th inning. Demi Elder, the center fielder, 0 for 1 tonight. Okay, I'm the old guy around here. Didn't know what a web gym was until like 2 years ago. Maybe last year, I don't even know. Okay, so yeah, producer Tyler says it was last year. I'm 12 months into knowledgeable web gym comments. Cowgirls, number 6 in the country, leading Texas Tech right now, number 6 in the conference, and that one is hit into right field. McDonald underneath it, and Texas Tech goes down in order. So the Cowgirls put 4 up at the bottom.
In the selection process later on.
Yeah, again, you would be here for the regional, for the super regional, and then obviously if you're fortunate enough to advance to the Women's College World Series right down the road in Oklahoma City, does not have to leave the state of Oklahoma. Have not had to do that for a while now. Check swing there by Megan Bloodworth. The shortstop for the Cowgirls. Cowgirls batted 8 in the last half inning, in their last inning for them at the plate in the bottom of the 3rd. And Megan Bloodworth, who grounded out her first time up, lead things off here. And already a pitching change is in the circle. Maddie Keel taking over for Mimi Blackledge. Got the final out. And throwing with some velocity there. Count 2-2. That one is hit. It's going to travel. It's carrying into right field, and it's off the foul pole. Home run, Oklahoma State. No. You're going to have to help me here. That's a home run. Kenny Gajewski says it's a home run, and I'm not sure why they've given him the home run. This is going to be under review, and yes, everybody in left field is telling Kenny Gajewski this hit the foul pole, and it did, and should have been sounding the horn, but she was running like she was convinced that the ball came off the wall, but I think it clearly hit the foul pole. We'll have to see. Wow. Yeah,
I mean, it pretty clearly hit the orange foul pole out there, and basically that tells you that it's a home run.
It carried, and it carried. And the only thing it might have done is tick off the wall. No, that thing is going, no, that's a home run. That is absolutely a home run. So Kenny Gajewski upset that he's having to use a review on this and running the bags. But that ball squarely hit the foul pole. Sound the horn. That's a home run for Oklahoma State. That's a home run, absolutely. That was an easy call. Didn't take long to review it. And Megan Bloodworth able to get that home run, and that's her 4th of the season. What a great way for the bottom of your order to lead things off here and get things going.
Just a great swing by Megan Bloodworth. Keel leaves this pitch up and on the inner half of the plate, and Megan Bloodworth turns on it, able to get on plane with that pitch and just drive it right down the foul line.
Megan Bloodworth, only her 4th home run of the season, and when you don't hit a lot of home runs and you hit one like that, you're just not convinced until somebody tells you you can run and you can slow up and actually jog. She was sprinting all the way around the third when that ball came back in and she got held up there. So that's almost not even letting her enjoy a home run, right? She didn't even get the home run trot.
Exactly. She had to bust her tail all the way to third base. But as a hitter, you really can't always see exactly what happens because you're trying to run and look at the same time. So, I mean, smart by her to keep sprinting just in case. I mean, the umpires didn't see it hit the left foul pole. So, you know, it's hard as a runner to do that. But great job by Megan Bloodworth there.
And Kenny Gajewski, and I love the fact that he didn't go to Shy Factor. He didn't go to Maddie Sue. He looked at the social. That's the fans in the left field, and he said, did it? He literally said, did it? And they all started pointing like, yes, it hit the foul pole, hit the foul pole. And they go to a review. Now, that's an incredible scene. Oh, that's great stuff right there.
Exactly, and it's kind of like sad they had to use one of their 2 challenges on that play because you only get 2 a game and you never know what's going to happen the back half of this game and if they're going to need more. So it's kind of annoying to have to burn a challenge on that.
No doubt it is. I mean, one that's that clear and obvious is Jillian Pollard, who has been on base twice with the double, got hit by a pitch back in the third. And the count is 2-2 to her here. And Kenny Gajewski showed a little frustration that he had to use that, but the umpires didn't take long, right? Took a very quick peek at it, and it was obviously a home run for the Cowgirls. A full count here for Pollard, the center fielder. Again, was playing third in relief of Talon Edwards, who's been hurt. And in that time frame, did such a good job. Now she's going to the outfield. I mean, that's a great example of just a kid going out there working and earning playing time. So she gets underneath that one, and that's going to be a little bit of trouble, but a great job by Orick to finally get backhanded and get her hand up there and bring that one in for out number 1. That's a heck of a catch there by Orick.
Exactly. She just turned and started sprinting directly towards this ball as soon as it was hit. She got a great read on that. Made an excellent play. I don't know a lot of shortstops that are going to come down with that catch, so a good job by Orick there.
Cowgirls third baseman Talon Edwards will step in now and check swing. I think they came off the knob of her bat. I don't think it hit her. And the umpire even, I think, thinking the same thing, making sure everybody's okay, making sure that Kreitz is okay as well. And big inhale and exhale for Talon Edwards. She's 0 for 1 with a sac bunt. And takes ball 1. Count 1-1 here. Talon Edwards' mom played softball at Oklahoma Baptist. Brother played baseball at Murray State. And hits that one into left field as Villa. This time able to take a couple of steps to her right and get the second out of the inning. Number 9 hole hitter hit a solo home run. Couple of outs since then, and that brings up Caroline Wong. We had the RBI single her last time up. Takes a strike there and starts out 0-1 here. Caroline Wong, just a complete player, able to catch very, very well. Terrific bat. Can go to right field if they need her to. Even on her days of rest and not catching, Kenny Gajewski's had her in the lineup and continue to use her like the Cowgirls did the other day in Wichita. This speaks to the importance of her being in that lineup.
Yeah, and another big reason too is with Michaela Wark and Carly Godwin, who both play first base. You know, both of them such amazing hitters in this lineup. So it's tough to get both of them and Caroline Wong in when Caroline isn't catching. So they had to move someone out to right field, and she's just adapting with it and having a great time in right field when she needs to be out there.
Yeah,
usually
right,
she's
sure.
catching. But
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about her family. I mean, she started 206 games at Liberty before she came here, and it's the incredible family heritage she has. We'll talk more about that in her next AB, as this time she grounds out to second base. Jennings is a fifth-year senior. I've talked about the emotion. You don't see it. You don't know if she's winning or losing, and she just goes out there and does her job.
Exactly, and you hear these coaches talk so much about how important it is to respond, because Lexi Kilfoyle could have easily gotten down. You know, Texas Tech went up 3 runs, and she could have been like, ugh, I never give up this many runs, and, you know, kind of spiraled down from there. But she is so good at coming back and just dominating the next inning.
Yeah, she is a 1 ERA kid, #1 in the Big 12, and she's given up 3 of those today. Not typical for Lexi Kilfoyle. Yet her team has put up 5 runs on the board and given her a 2-run Cushing, and with that at least a 1-run lead, she went with a 9-pitch inning, trying to get out of damage here, and saw that play just the last half inning. This time it's Davis to Godwin taking the glove flip over to first. We saw exactly the same thing with Jennings to Barnhart. Both second basemen showing off tonight.
Yeah, good play by Rosie Davis. She's kind of playing up the middle a little bit, but goes all the way over to the 3-4 hole and charges this ball, able to glove flip it over to Carly Godwin. But I was going to say, we've seen these pitchers not getting a ton of strikeouts tonight, and they're both using their defenses, especially Lexi with her drop ball. She's getting a ton of ground balls, and her defense has been so solid behind her to make those plays.
Yeah, to further that point, not a single strikeout for the Cowgirls as far as their time at the plate. And for Texas Tech, they've only had 1 batter strikeout so far, so only 1 strikeout for Lexi Kilfoyle. Although the Cowgirls staying with Lexi Kilfoyle in the circle. We've seen the pitching change for Texas Tech here in this one. Kennedy Kreitz, the catcher, kind of got things going for him a little bit her last time up, but this time she will ground out to Talon Edwards, the third baseman, for out number 2. So that is 4 out of the last 5 batters faced for Lexi Kilfoyle that have grounded out.
Now batting the first baseman, number 24, Aubrey.
That'll bring up Aubrey Barnhart, the first baseman. 0 for 1, reached on that fielder's choice. Did later score, though. Takes ball 1. We're going to start running out of 5th-year players. Now, you can still be a 5th-year senior, right? And you can still be even more than that with injuries and red shirts and red shirt injury, all of those sorts of things. But the Lexi Kilfoyles, the 5-year pitchers with the COVID year, are going to start to dwindle. This will be the last year, really, we start to see this. What do you think about the level of softball play? Will it change over the next couple of years? Because a 5th year is a huge opportunity. And that 5th year, we've seen most of these kids really take advantage of it and play well.
Yeah, it's hard to say, because honestly, I feel like every year college softball just keeps getting better and better and better and more competitive. And a big reason for that the last few years is those 5th years coming back and just having that extra year of experience. So that's a really good point. But I don't know, I just feel like these young kids coming up are really playing well too. And we've seen so many freshmen have amazing years so far in all of college softball. So it's going to be really fun to see them develop as well.
And we saw so many of those around here. Again, we had a young lady at second base last year, was in her 5th year. Came from the Big Ten. There is a walk issue to Barnhart. Give her credit. She's having a good day here. And that'll go back to the top of the order with Wyckoff. But do you feel like in your 5th year last season that you were more capable of handling a change from going from one school to the next? And was your play better last year than maybe it was in your previous 4?
I definitely think my 5th year, just having that extra year of practice and workouts and even, coming to Oklahoma State, a better program than where I was from, and having different coaching, all of those things combined really helped me elevate as a player, as an athlete, and just made it the best year of softball that I've ever had.
Which is, again, speaks to the volumes of the opportunity of what COVID and those COVID years have done. As the crowd wanted that one to be there. But, you talk about the talent of Rosie Davis, and again, just some of these freshmen, you're right. I mean, the talent is still going to be there. I just think we've had so many fifth-year seniors. The level has been so good. It's going to be hard to match that year in and year out. But we talked about Kenny Gajewski. He's been able to do that, bringing in the talent that he has. That one is hit to Carly Godwin. She will step on first, and we're done through 4.5. We go number 3 spot. Just a game out of 2, and actually 2 out of 3 from Texas, and a couple of games away from Oklahoma. And that Bedlam series is coming up in just a few series down the road. But Kansas hanging close, UCF hanging close, Texas Tech trying to get themselves in an at-large opportunity for the NCAA tournament. So opportunity abounds for a lot of teams in this league, and this is a huge series for Texas Tech, and that's a huge hit right there. You talk about a no-doubter. Sound the horn! Home run! Carly Godwin leads it off. That's the 3rd home run of the game, and the Cowgirls lead it 6-3. 42% of their run production coming from home runs. That is certainly the case here tonight.
Carly Godwin with so much power in her swing. She just gets her hips open so quickly and rotates so fast and just hits balls so far because of that. She has so much power and just looks so good as a freshman, hitting like a veteran up there.
He talked about her earning that 4-hole spot. She has, and she cleared the Outlaws and the Social all the way out there into the Grove, nearly to McElroy, and the wind has died down here, and it's certainly not the factor it was when this game started, as Rosie Davis, another home run hitter, will step in. 0 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, so that's actually the 14th different game that Oklahoma State has had 3 or more home runs this year. So that just shows you how much of a factor the long ball is for Oklahoma State. 44
games played, 14 with those multiple home runs, 3 home runs. That's truly some power for Oklahoma State. That one is hit into right field. Wyckoff steps in and then has to retreat and then loses the ball, but it was on the transfer, and that'll be an out for Rosie Davis. That'll bring up Claire Tim. She's the one that gave the Cowgirls the lead the first time. Trailing 3-1, she had a 3-run shot. They gave the Cowgirls a 4-3 lead. Back in the 3rd, and that was a big cut there for Claire Tim. You'd mentioned it. She had hit one into left field via the left fielder, could not quite hang on to it as it actually was in foul territory. The very next pitch she sent way over the right center field into the souvenir, into the gift shop. I'll get that right in a minute. The gift shop, and gave away the souvenir. Falls behind here 0-2 and fouls that one off. That's, football, they say, is a game of inches. Well, every game is just, it's that minute difference. Take away that 3-run shot, and this is a tie ball game at 3-3.
Exactly. You never know when little things like that, where maybe the left fielder Villa could have dove and tried to make a better effort for that ball, but if she comes up with that catch, you're right, it's tied right now, or you just never know what's going to happen.
It's the great part about this game, and it's a great part of the consistency of Oklahoma State to be 13-1 at home and to continue to dominate and play and win at home the way they have throughout the course of the last 5, 6, 7 seasons. And that's where Coach Snyder wants this Texas Tech team to elevate its game too. And again, with such a high recruiting class coming off of last year's performance, they're on track for that. As Tim fouls that one away. Count will stay 1-2. Clear Tim an applied exercise science major. There's a good look into the dugouts and see the energy level is high for Oklahoma State. And as I say that cheer comes to a close. I like the fact Lexi Kilfoyle, man, she looks like she could be on the slopes in Colorado. That big old heavy coat, she had that on the pregame as well. The 2-2 hitting the gap. Jennings tries to backhand it, can't get there, and that's going to be a single for Claire Tim. Jennings slides over, just can't squeeze it.
Yeah, it looked like Jennings was shaded into the 3-4 hole a little bit, and it would have been a great play if she backhanded that and kind of threw it on the run. But a great effort there by Jennings. And looks like Claire Tim has 6 hits over the last 5 games, so she's definitely heating up for the Cowgirls offense.
No doubt about it. She's another base runner right here for Michaela Wark, who's walked a couple of times tonight. The designated player, 2 walks, 8 home runs of her own. And again, the wind was blowing in. It was a factor, setting everything up early. But now that flag is draped, and the Cowgirls have taken advantage, powered a few over that left field wall past the Social and the Outlaws. And I mean, that is a stark contrast to what we saw to start this ball game.
Never know what you're going to get with the Oklahoma weather.
You mentioned that early warm day yesterday. Cold front came across, dropped the temperatures about 16, 17 degrees from the morning to the evening, and has left behind some cooler temperatures. The Cowgirls have warmed things up here in Cowgirl Stadium. Oklahoma State didn't score in the first or the second inning, but have scored every inning since. 4th in the 3rd. 1 run in the 4th. So far, 1 run here in the 5th. And there's ball 4. And that is the 3rd walk for Wark on the night. Very disciplined at the plate so far. And Warsup is now in left field. Tim moved to right field. And so Warsup will come in for Lexi McDonald and will hit for her in the lineup. Tia Warsup, born in Northampton, England, moved to the United States at the age of 4. The number 14 recruit in the extra inning softball extra elite 100. And the 43 recruit in the national class, earned a silver medal at the 2022 European Championship. And I give you that only to say that she's going to come right back out. And Lexi McDonald is going to come back in and hit for herself. So Kenny thought about it, let Warsup actually come out, and then says, no, we're going to move her back in. So Lexi McDonald 1 for 2 with a single. And the Cowgirls got a couple of, actually 1 pinch runners. Scotland David will come in at first. Claire Tim still at first. And Scotland David will come in for Michaela Wark there at first. And Lexi McDonald will stay. And we got to, let's listen, you're going to make some changes. We'll make some changes. And let's everybody get together and huddle again. Now let's see how long it takes to put something over your mouth. Yep. Okay. The catcher does. The coach does. Okay, there's 1 player here that does not have a hand over their mouth. I saw you said yes. That's not, you should cover that up so we know what you're saying right there. Oh, you have to love it, don't you? Coaches and the fear factor. And the workout going on right now in the Texas Tech bullpen. Keeping in mind, this is only game 1 of a 3-game series, so who you're going to pitch, all of that continues to be the chess matches. We are now finally back ready to resume here. 1 out, 2 on, bottom of the 5th. Lexi McDonald takes ball 1. Give you the RPI for Texas Tech. The Cowgirls RBI is number 11 in the country. Their strength of schedule is 49th. Texas Tech strength of schedule is actually 48th. McDonald hits it in the hole, and the runners will hold, but the bags are juiced. One gone, and there's a single for Lexi McDonald. She is now 2 for 3 on the night. Has a single, a double, and she has got the bases loaded for Oklahoma State. 8th hit of the night for the Cowgirls. And look out, here comes a home run hitter.
Exactly, and the Cowgirls just keep putting the pressure on. They haven't skipped a beat with Keel coming into the game, and they just keep barreling balls up, taking walks, doing everything they can to manufacture runs.
Done a great job, that is for sure, to put that pressure on. And Bloodworth, a Alabama transfer out of Cordell, Georgia. Born and raised in Cordell. Her last hit off the foul pole. They did not give her credit for the home run initially. The Cowgirls reviewed it, and it was clearly off the foul pole and a home run. And she's ahead here 2-0. Now 3-0, and that puts it in a very precarious situation. You've got nowhere to put her. She just hit a home run, and you really don't want to put one right down the middle. Away. Here's ball 4 and an RBI walk for Megan Bloodworth. Great job right there. A 4-pitch ball or walk that walks in another run for Oklahoma State, and the Cowgirls take a 7-3 lead. That brings us back to the top of the order. Jillian Pillard, 1 for 2, hit double, hit by pitch, scored a run, 4 home runs on the season. Godwin now tied for most home runs by a freshman. Michaela Wark had 10 last year, and Godwin now tied with those 10, and that is Serge Thomas. Tech, a senior from Pryor, Oklahoma, and prior to her time at Texas Tech, she was an Oklahoma pitcher, and 6-1 on the season. What else do we know about Olivia Raines?
Yeah, Raines is going to come in and try to throw the Cowgirls off balance. She throws a hard drop ball and a changeup in the mid-60s, so pretty good velocity. She likes to stay in the lower quadrant of the plate and usually on the outer half to both righties and lefties.
Opponent's batting just north of 300 against her as Pillard takes strike 1. Cowgirls are batting 400 on the day. They've gotten 8 hits from 20 batters, batting 400. Texas Tech batting 176 as a team in this game, and that one is fouled for a strike 2. Again, bases loaded, 1 out, new pitcher, 0-2 count to Pillard. We talked about the fact that Texas Tech could put up some runs. They did. They put up 3 pretty quickly. But Oklahoma State's offense has definitely continued to, as you said, put pressure and overcome the Red Raiders and take that lead 7-3. Here's the 0-2 off the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, the last 3 games, the Cowgirls have put up 23 runs in total. Their last game at Iowa State, they put up 10. On Wednesday at Wichita State, they put up 6. Today, they're already up to 7. So it looks like the offense is really heating up for Oklahoma State.
1-2, and the ball gets away from the catcher, Kreitz, and the Cowgirls are going to score another run. The runners will advance. So that would appear to me to be a passed ball, and the Cowgirls add another one to the board.
Yeah, it looked like the catcher, Kreitz, kind of just missed that one. And Scotland David, so fast, able to score from third.
Again, such a terrific story, overcoming 4 knee surgeries. And there's an off speed that Pillard started to pull the string on, then decides not to, but it's in there for strike 3 and a strikeout, and that is the first strikeout of the day of an Oklahoma State Cowgirl batter.
was a great pitch by Olivia Raines. That changeup came in a little high and dropped perfectly into the strike zone, able to freeze Poulard and get her looking.
For the second time in 3 innings, the Cowgirls will bring the 8th batter to the plate as Talon Edwards, the third baseman, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. And she could really open this thing up right here for Oklahoma State. Did not go around. Ball 2. Texas Tech just trying to hang in there right now, get this thing extended to the 6th inning. Cowgirls trying to finish things off, but with Edwards, there is an open bag now at first after David scored. Everybody moved up, so 3-0. They do here have a place to put Talon Edwards, and they come after her though with a strike there. It's 3-1.
Yeah, I think with Caroline Wong coming in behind Talon, definitely providing some protection there for her.
I think you are right on right there. I don't think you get by Edwards hoping to get to Caroline Wong. And she gets hit though. She gets hit and she'll go down to first, and the Cowgirls have them loaded again here in the bottom of the 5th. It's twice now in this inning. The load, try that again. The bases have been juiced for Oklahoma State.
Now batting the catcher, number 66.
So the Cowgirls have batted all the way around here.
I was going to say, so now the winning run is on first for Oklahoma State, and they do have 2 outs, so it's going to take a couple of hits strung together.
Great job by Lexi McDonald. Head first, hand reach slide to get under the tag on another pass ball. Another score for Oklahoma State. The runners will advance again.
Lexi McDonald, great read on that. As soon as it went to the backstop, she took off and able to sneak in another run for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, not the most graceful slide she's probably ever had, but she did get down and got that hand extended and got in there. So the runners advance to 2nd and 3rd. Another run scores. It's 9-3. And Caroline Wong, you were talking about that winning run. Now that winning run is in scoring position. So if the Cowgirls can get one out of the infield, score 2, this ball game would be a run roll and be over. And Texas Tech is just trying to hang on, trying to get another AB. That one is hit, and the run's going to score, and Caroline Wong took an angle to turn at first and nearly got there a little late. Instead, she gets the RBI single. They are going to review it, but let's take a look here. I mean, she was taking an angle, looked to me like she thought she was going to be rounding first, but the play was right there. Oh, looks like she twisted her ankle on the way over, too. That did score Bloodworth. And they're going to review this.
Third baseman Riley Love on that made a great stop. Caroline Wong hit that ball so hard to Love, and she's able to get a glove on it, and the shortstop behind her almost made that play.
I don't know what Talon Edwards is laughing about, but she's having a good time over there as the bugs are starting to come out here in the early parts of spring in Oklahoma, and she swats away a few of those. It's close, and from the angles we've seen, we haven't seen really studied the replay, but it's very, very close. Oh, she did twist that ankle. She is fortunate she didn't twist it worse than she did, and she's safe. I think that's a tie. Tie goes to the runner, right? No conclusive evidence. I'm in. Yep. There we go. So 10th run for the 13th time this season. That's 130 runs in 13 games. That's
quick math.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. I didn't even need Real Deal for that. But that tells you just 130 runs in 13 games. The run production has been phenomenal for Oklahoma State. As Caroline Wong will have a pinch runner, it would appear. Again, that ankle gave as she hit the outer part of that bag, and somehow she was able to get off of it before she twisted that ankle. And now that game-winning run is at third with Talon Edwards for Carly Godwin. And she's got a home run already in this ball game as well. In fact, Carly Godwin led this inning off with the home run. It's her second time to the plate this inning. Couple of changes for the Cowgirls. Taylor Anderson will come in at third. Kenny Gajewski would try to squeeze this, would he? And Macy Graff is over there at first, pinch running. He wouldn't squeeze this with Carly Godwin, would he? He's just unorthodox enough. That speed by Anderson. Now the corner's playing in. I don't think he will either, but I've seen him do crazier things. And the first pitch, the Cowgirls will take second. Graff trying to draw the throw so that Anderson could get the double steal, but Texas Tech not going to fall for it. So now runners at second and third. And a 1-0 pitch here to Carly Godwin. She was right on it, but spun it straight back into the backstop. Cowgirls scored 4 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 5 now here in the fifth. 13th time they've scored 10 runs or more in a ball game this season. Changeup, Godwin way out in front of that one, 1-2. That was a good time for that pitch. Olivia Raines from Pryor trying to get out of the inning, throws the off speed off the plate, and the count goes to 2-2. And I think the Red Raider dugout wanted the strike call, but that was obviously off the plate. Here's the 2-2. That one's hit sharp. Not sharp enough. Not as sharp as I thought initially, as Villa drifts over into foul territory and is able to get the third out of the inning. But the Cowgirls do the damage. That's where they sit right now. The Texas Tech fans, they're looking for some offense now here at the top of the sixth. Getting chilly here in Stillwater. So Lexi McDonald is now moving to the designated player. Scotland David to left field. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just wanted to get those in there. Yeah, just make sure we get all the changes, because that's what we tend to see the Cowgirls do, especially in these situations. You know, it's pretty impressive, Rachel. This Texas Tech team has only been run ruled twice all year long, and very near gave up a run rule in that last inning. So they've extended it with a chance to avoid that here. But that tells you how well they've played this season.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, with the pitchers on the Texas Tech pitching staff, a lot of them do have slightly higher ERAs, and so that's just a huge credit to their offense. It shows that they can put up runs and always keep them in the game.
1-1 the count to Villa, the left fielder. Struck out her first time up and then had that 2 RBI double. Felt like Texas Tech had kind of found some things out, figured some things out versus Lexi Kilfoyle. She has turned it around and pitched strong since. Texas Tech wants to get back to where they were as a team at the plate, certainly in inning 3. Forced 34 pitches in that inning. There's almost a check swing, half-hearted swing, knowing I'm not going to touch this swing, and another strikeout for Lexi Kilfoyle.
Yeah, Lexi Kilfoyle just using her drop ball in the dirt to get a great hitter via out to swing through that pitch. Lexi Kilfoyle just so good. Her drop ball is so hard to lay off of. Only
the second strikeout of the day for Lexi Kilfoyle. Again, the discipline of Texas Tech offensively has been very, very good. This one is fouled down the line. Edwards comes up with it, but not until it's past the third base side on the wrong side of the line. Strike one. Riley Love, 2023 academic All Big 12 first team a year ago. He's an All Big 12 freshman team player back at 21. again, has enjoyed the new coaching style, has had a good year for Texas Tech. Got a piece of that one, but it's fouled, and it'll be strike 2, 1-2. Go ahead.
I was say I was looking back at the numbers from last year, and Riley Love last year only hit 196, and for her to develop over the whole offseason and come in this year, her senior year, and hit well above 300. She's one of the best hitters on this Texas Tech lineup, getting a ton of RBIs and manufacturing tons of runs for her team. That just speaks to her hard work and how well she's developed over the past year.
Absolutely. You know, coming off of that, she had an arm injury. She missed 27 games due to that injury. And for her to, you know, so as you talked about, struggled a little bit, to come back this year and play the way she has and work the way she has, been good. And great job there by Carly Godwin. She got stretched, got the foot back, and got it there down on the bag in time. So 2 gone here in the top of the 6th. That brings up the shortstop, Abby Orrick. She's 0 for 2, couple of ground outs. And that one gets under the glove of Talon Edwards. That was hit well under the glove, and that'll be the 4th base hit of the ball game for Texas Tech.
Yeah, a nice aggressive swing by Orrick there. That was her first pitch of the at-bat. She knows that Lexi Kilfoyle is going to pound the zone and throw a ton of strikes. So good job by her to open up and shoot that ball through the 5-6 hole.
7 ground outs for Lexi Kilfoyle in the last 11 batters, and also giving up 1 single and a strikeout in that same time. She has really started to pitch well here in the latter part of this ball game. Did give up that hit to Orrick there. That was going to be hit softly back to her. Fields it, turns, throws in time. A couple of solo home runs by Bloodworth and Godwin. Kilfoyle has been good. And Texas Tech trying to find a way to hold the Cowgirls off the board one more time here. There's a check swing. It's going to stay on the line, and the Cowgirls are safe. How about that? Rosie Davis, the unintended bunt, single, and she is safe at first. That's not the way you draw it up, right? But it draws all smiles there on first base.
That is exactly what we call a swinging bunt, and I always say swinging bunt works every single time. It's almost an automatic hit if you have some speed, because nobody expects that to happen, not even you. And every once in a while to get a hit out of that is just, it's great.
That brings up that 3-run homer, Claire Tim. Run getter, right fielder, wasn't right, moved over to left, and the Cowgirls have kind of jostled some things around in the outfield in this ball game as she hits that one back to first. Will move Rosie Davis over, but she'll be out at first. So the scoring run is the winning run is in scoring position for Oklahoma State.
Also, that was a really nice play over at first base by Barnhart. She slid and grabbed that backhand on her knee, and that was just a really nice, smooth play by her.
Michaela Warwick had walked 3 times. But she's going to be pinch hit for by Scotland David right here. 1 home run to her credit over the years out of Ponte Verde, Florida, batting .211. As I said before, overcome 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 knee surgeries. Some of the most awkward circumstances, and has battled and battled and battled to get back on this field every single time. Off speed, stays back, count 2-1. That 1 home run, she literally blasted off of the OSU logo on the scoreboard. Absolutely smoked one. to the delight of her teammates, because she is one of the favorites in that dugout. And takes ball 3.
Exactly. That was one of my favorite moments from last year, being on the team, playing with Scotland David, knowing everything that she's been through. She's such an inspiration to all of us, and for her to have that moment and for all of us to be there and just see it happen, it was amazing. I'll remember that forever.
As a broadcaster up here, it probably is the '1 thing I remember out of the regular season as well. I mean, it was just you guys' reaction to that home run just brought tears to Kenny Gajewski's eyes, and to many people who knew the story, that's for sure. As she hits that one, it's going to be gloved by the pitcher. Raines started to go to third, changed her mind, and is able to get the out at first.
Yeah, a quick chopper back to the pitcher, Raines. It kind of looked like she was thinking about going to 3, but good idea to get the out at 1, because now they have 2 outs and are able to just get an easy force at 1 anyway.
So the Cowgirls move the runner to third. 2 out, though, for Lexi McDonald. Off-speed strike for McDonald, who's 2 for 3, has 2 singles, scored a run. And another single here would end this one in the dirt. Another pass ball might end it as well. We've seen 2 of those. The Cowgirls have scored on 2 passed balls tonight, getting by Kreitz, and Rosie Davis has got the speed to score from third on 1 getting by Kreitz here. 1-1, the count to McDonald. Off the plate, that one had some velocity there, but misses outside. Young lady there from Pryor, Oklahoma. Went to Oklahoma, transferred to Texas Tech. And misses 3-1. Rosie Davis anxiously waits at third. And Pryor looked in the dugout and said no. She didn't shake off the catcher. She shook off the coach in the dugout and said no, no, and then backed off the rubber. Now gets the call she wants. The pitch way out front is McDonald. She wanted to mix up. She already mixed up the changeup and got McDonald mixed up, and the count is 3-2. Maybe we ought to create a new pitch called the mix-up. Through that nasty mix-up pitch. 3-2 in the dirt, ball 4. I think they were being pretty careful there, but if I'm Megan Bloodworth, I'm going to thinking, you know what, that home run wasn't an accident. Bloodworth 1 for 2 with a walk, scored a couple of runs, 2 RBI. Able to get that a walk RBI. Bases were loaded, drew the walk, got the RBI for that. We've got a pinch runner for the Cowgirls. Lexi McDonald will give way to a Cowgirl runner. Let's see who that is coming in. It's number 21. That's Hayden Sokolowski. Sokolowski out of Flower Mound, Texas. Went to Marcus High School. There's ball 1. Bloodworth making a bid for player of the game. That home run, if she could get the game-winning RBI as well. Played well at short defensively for Oklahoma State tonight. Showed bunt, runner, the corners came in, backed off of it, and it was a ball. Here's the 2-0. There's a ball, and again got away initially from Kreitz, but she kept it right in front of her. And Cowgirls will swipe second again. Sokolowski is at second. Looking for the double steal. Texas Tech again not going to go for that. And the 3-0. Ball four. So the bases are loaded, and they're going to have to pitch to Jillian Poulard, or the Cowgirls are going to walk or hit in the winning run, or Texas Tech's going to get the final out of the inning.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 27,
Jillian Poulard, McNeese State transfer. Double hit by pitch, has had a big day. And she gets that one into center field. It's deep, and it is going to be a game winner. The Cowgirls are going to walk off Texas Tech with the RBI winner by Jillian Poulard, and the Cowgirls are going to run rule Texas Tech only the third run rule of the season. What an at-bat there for the Cowgirls. Let's take another look at this one.
Yeah, great swing here by Poulard. I like how she was aggressive on the first pitch. Even though the pitcher Raines had given up a few walks, she saw a good pitch, knew she could drive it, and is able to walk off the game there with the run rule.
Able to get the single, and the Cowgirls get the run, and the Cowgirls are going to win it 11-3. And Rachel, this was a game